Hello, everyone, and welcome to another riveting edition of Under the Floorboards, where we laugh at the creatures that go bump in the night. I am your host, John, joined as always by my beautiful co-host, Eric. How are you this week?
Dude, this is one of the best days of my life, man. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, dude, I'm
That's
super
fucking wild.
excited. This is one of our biggest, at least, party episodes ever. We
100%.
have so many people on this episode. We're super excited to talk to everybody today.
I feel like the Avengers of indie horror have assembled before us.
It's just an infinity gauntlet of blood.
Yeah.
So we have actor producer Daniel John Kearney returning to the show. Super excited to have you on. Welcome back, brother. But we have a lot of first time guests as well. We've got actor producer Kyle Shute on. Don't worry, I'll actually put in real claps
so you'll
later.
be able to hear that in the final cut.
Eric doesn't have to be the sound guy anymore.
I just clap.
Our Foley's gotten a lot better, but we've also got writer director Richard Harlost. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, you said it correct.
Fuck yeah, we did it. And honestly, someone that I'm very personally excited to have on the show, and I'm a big fan of, Mr. Chaney Morrow. Super excited to have you on, actor director as well. Again, like he's saying, like the Avengers assembling, like there's so many layovers in a lot of this, like, you know, like Daniel and Kyle working together in Wolf Hollow, and then Chaney and Daniel working together on so many projects like Late Checkout and fucking Watchdog and all of this really cool shit that's going to be coming out this year. So it's really exciting to have you guys on to talk about your newest project coming up, Deadly Endings. So we're gonna get right into it. Richard, I'd love to hear from you first. So this whole premise is an anthology, right?
Yes.
So give us kind of like the foundation. I've listened to some interviews of you talking about it already, but give, for the people who haven't heard yet, kind of what there are 3 stories, and what is the base idea for each story?
The base story for each of them is there's a vampire story. You know, we tried to touch on a few different things. There's a zombie story, and then there's a demon story. So we're trying to kind of diversify it up a little bit so that there's a flavor for everybody. And the stories are pretty much where the interaction between the monsters and the human condition is Dan says, you know, are kind of leaves the audience questioning, like, who's the real monster, you know, basically. So you know, like, people, when they come into something, they either try to control it, try to tame it, try to, you know, become it, or something like that. So like all the stories have like kind of twisted elements in it.
Very cool.
So with anthology, it feels like there's a lot of different structures that you can kind of play with as far as like timing's concerned, because like you'll have some where it's like, okay, there are 3 stories, each one is 30 minutes long, we're shooting for 90 minutes kind of thing. But there's a lot too where there's like, okay, well,
like the subplot that follows all of them.
Yeah, you'll have your wraparound stories and stuff like that, or you'll even have like the integration of, like, for example, like you might have 3 stories, but one's only 20 minutes long to make one longer and all that kind of stuff. Are you trying to give like equal attention to all of these stories?
I as a guideline, I tried to have them all where they would be at least 30 minutes. I think the one that's the longest is maybe like 37 minutes. Obviously I wasn't going to do something that was 20 minutes. So 30 was kind of like what I was shooting for. And if I happen to go over a little bit or something, for the sake of the story, I didn't want to be confined, you know, to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's the cutoff, don't really have an ending for it, or I'm going to have to take something out. You know, like, I wasn't going to do that. It was more about, you know, if it turned into a 2-hour, you know, thing, we would have found a way to make it work. It was more just, you know, putting the attention into the story instead of kind of like, you know, restricting myself to a 30-minute, you know, per episode thing, just to fit it tightly and snug into a 90-minute thing. I didn't want to do any injustice there. So
do you think that's part of the, like, the appeal of like the anthology versus doing like a feature length singular story or something to that effect?
I think the appeal to it is that you have 3 different arcs. You have 3 different things to think about, you know, like in 3 different flavor, just the diversity, like, you know, the diversity of the actors. You know, if you watch a movie and you're not into it, you're like, this, you know, kind of blows. Like, could give a fuck less if my power went out right now.
Put it down.
You know,
But
yeah, like,
episode 2's
you know,
coming
but
up,
like
yeah.
with this, you know, with this, it's like, you know, we have 3 chances to get it right or 3 different ways to entertain you, you know,
Cool.
so that's the appeal, you know, for me. And also you get to change the stories. They're different stories, you know, so.
Well said.
So, Daniel, a question that I actually really had for you in this is, I know as a producer and like, you know, especially the way you and Felissa have been working together to make a lot of these stories and indie horror movies come to life. I know that you also notoriously aren't a fan of anthology films.
I told you that.
So,
Yes,
so my question is, when Jeff brought you this script, what was it that really like stuck out to you that you were like, this absolutely has to be made? Like, this is something that I am so behind, and I'm so ready for this to be something real.
I'm really happy you asked that question, because that's exactly what happened. I really don't like anthology films, but
Boo, Dan, boo.
No, but I got him.
I really
You
don't.
know, I hooked him in.
But what happened is that Jeff, we're kind of in between projects at the time, and you know, I was talking to Felissa about, Q2, Q3, and I said, and Jeff was like, "Oh, Dan, you gotta read this." So I kept it off like a month, or maybe like a month. I said, "Okay, I'm gonna commit myself to reading it," and I read it. What always turned me off about anthologies is that you can never really get enough time to really love and care about the characters, and you can never really find that sweet spot where it just became so memorable to me. But when I read Rich's script, there was 2 things that stood out to me: is that there's a lot of character development that you don't see in a lot of anthology films, and you really care about the characters. And to piggyback off what he said before, it's kind of like, who's the more evil one? Is it the monster, or is it the person? So that's really what made me say we need to make this, is because I thought it was really good. And when I was reading it, I was closing my eyes and I was like saying, "Oh my God, I could see so and so playing this. I could see so and so playing this." And just, it was like one of those things that just felt, like it was already in the works as soon as I was reading it. So that's what made it happen for me, at least.
I get that. I have attachment issues too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So if I can ask whoever, what is the appeal of Deadly Endings in regards to sort of telling that story? I mean, in terms of like the human condition versus the wicked evil or whatever. I mean, is that what is Deadly Endings bringing to the table that perhaps is unexplored within this genre? For whoever.
Yeah. So
did you want it, Dan, or do you
I'll
want me
start
to?
it. I'll start it.
Or you started, and I'll come in. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just
Good cop, bad
That's
cop.
how we do it
I
too.
like it.
I feel that.
Yeah. So what makes it really different is that there's a lot of emotion in the film, a lot of emotional development that you don't see in a lot of anthologies, because there's really not enough time to get that out there. And I think that's really what sets it apart. And a lot of anthologies are really special effects heavy. This film is super special effects heavy, stressful to the max. But with that, as well, with the character development and the how emotional a lot of it is, and that's what sets it apart. That's what really sets it apart. What do you have to say, Rich, about that?
No, keep going. Don't throw it to me. Keep going. No, you're doing fine. Yeah, I just think that the aspect of which we portray, like what is deemed evil. Like in most of the horror movies, who the hell is evil. Like from they're unless it's like a murder mystery where you find out way at the end and you're trying to figure it out, the whole way.
It was
like,
Kevin
is it
Spacey
that guy
the
or
whole
is it
time,
that
yeah.
person or who's killing who? I mean, it's like you pretty much know, okay, Dracula's bad, the mummy is bad or whatever. But like in this, it really kind of has you shifting gears many times where you're like, back and forth between, like the human, the monster or whatever. And we play on that. And it definitely, one of the reasons, like where Dan said, like he didn't like anthologies is, usually when I'm writing something, there's been plenty of times where I've wanted to write something like as an anthology, as a short. And I figure like, man, how do you compact it all into 30 minutes or 40 minutes? You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of times it turns out to be 50 minutes, and I'm like, well, I might as well just stretch this bastard out into like a feature now. As I get like up near the 60 pages. And with this, I was able to do it. So like, thank whatever the hell like allowed me to do that. But I'm just glad I did.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of curious to ask. So, luckily, Kyle, for you, there are two people here that can tell you to shut the fuck up if you start saying shit that you're not supposed to. But
Right.
I would,
Everybody can.
yeah,
Break it
yeah.
in my house anyway. I'm used to it.
But I'd love to know where I know you're like an actual part of the cast for this, so you're going to be in front of the camera. I'm curious as to know like where you kind of fall into this. If you can tell us which one of the stories that you're in, what I would love to know is what your archetype is and the type of character that you are playing.
What is that word?
Archetype?
We don't have that in East Tennessee. You got to be more.
Are you an architect or not?
When you're a people, when you're a people being a person, which person would you be?
Oh,
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. What pulled me in though was exactly what Dan was just talking about was the characters. When Richard sent the script over, we talked about it, and it's a hard script. You're gonna have to really challenging is what I would say. And reading my role, as cool as it is, I was so interested in Dan. Like it was incredible. Like Dan's done some really cool stuff.
Agreed.
And that was the most exciting one was his particular role in this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, but what about you?
Kind of you.
What about you?
Well, so what I like to do,
Mr. Question Dodger.
I know. Well, you have to go back a little bit further than that though. So when I first started doing these movies, I would go find the ones that I wanted to do. Right, I would go look for these ones. And I don't really do that as much anymore, because I've made so much connections through this. And I think Dan or Felicity reached out to me first on this one and said this stuff. And then today Chaney's involved and these people are involved. And then I seen it and it really was mind boggling. But I always try to put myself in the same room as Felissa Rose. And I do that because I know when people watch this movie, they're going to be watching Felissa Rose. And anytime that I could be across from Felissa or in the background of Felissa, I know I'm going to be seen. Right. So that's what I was when I
You're just doing fucking jumping jacks in the background.
Yeah, whatever it is. This is the first one I think where I didn't get typecasted. Usually when Felissa calls me for a role, she's like, hey, listen, you're going to be perfect for this. It's this creepy guy at a bar. He hits on an underage girl. I know you're going to kill it. Right.
He's from Eastern Tennessee.
Right. Yeah. He's the inbred, But so when Richard was pitching this one, it was so unique because I didn't have that character. I actually got to be something of more of a challenge, I think, for myself than the typical frat boy who hits on an underage girl that I've kind of been stuck with for the last little while.
You gotta hit on legal women in this one.
Yeah.
You get to drive a Porsche instead of a truck.
Right. I would never.
Chaney, I'm going to kick it over to you, man. Same question. Let's hear that archetype.
Let's call him it would be the protagonist of the story, but again, this is it's examining this particular story. What I can't speak so much for I won't speak for all of each segment, only what really drew me to the one that I am in. I've always been curious, and I don't think I've been able to play with the ideas yet of what people or what let's call it what a person can become when everything changes, in the blink of an eye. Let's say like you hit the lotto, and your life is changed. There's a million ways you could you could go, you know, a million different paths you could take upon getting this. And I'm always fascinated with which paths people take and what money or power, I guess specifically power, what that can do to your average person.
For sure.
And it makes me think of, you know, Breaking Bad. Like, at what point was Walter White not Walter White anymore?
Mhm.
You know, what
Yeah.
episode was it? What chain of events? What exact thing was it where you finally flip the switch and you're like, well, Walt's fucking bad, and there's no coming back from it now.
Yeah.
You know, he's past selling meth. Now he's murdering kids, you know, crazy shit. And just, you know, that little taste of power could do that to a humble chemistry teacher dying of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
What could, you know, an introverted kind of sickly man who only knows what it's like to be frowned upon or beaten on, you know, if he's given a taste of something better, well, what's he going to do with that? You know, how can that be channeled? So that's what draws me to it, because it's such A to Z in a matter of, you know, 30 pages. We go from kind of A to Z with this cat, and it's really fun. It was really fun to read it. I had no idea what to expect as I was reading it. I didn't know, you know, there was a vampire tale I didn't know any of it. I was thinking, like, you know, what the hell is going on exactly here? And when I found out, the thing just kicks it right to 10. You're like, holy, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, what?
Chaney's our
It
official
just, I mean, kicks
spokesperson.
it hardcore to 10, to the point where I'm reading it like this could prove to be. This could be a, you know, not a difficult shoot, but a shoot, like a challenging shoot to really pull this off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's that travel from A to Z with this character that really fascinates me.
Absolutely. So I know you guys haven't shot anything yet because the Indiegogo drops on March 1st, which is super exciting. We'll get to the perks here in a little bit, but make sure you're marking your calendars for that, guys. But one of the things, have you guys done a table read yet? Like, have you guys got to see some of the chemistry between some of your characters yet?
That's coming up. That's
And the good news
that's
is, like,
definitely
some
coming
of my scene or the bit that I'm in there, I've worked with everybody involved
Yeah, exactly.
before, so I already kind of know. I'm like, well, I can vibe with every one of them. So
Yeah,
that's the good. That's the good thing
chemistry's
about
there.
this,
Like, I
I
know
will
it's
say.
there. Like,
Well,
especially like that specific cast. I'm like, sweet. Like, it's like showing up to class, man. You know,
This
you
the
I was
show
gonna say I'd keep my lips
like showing
zipped
up to
about it,
detention.
but quite frankly, from what I can see, it's literally everyone that I've seen so far, even just being a part of this project, which is incredible. You know, you guys have such a star-studded cast. Like,
Thank you.
for everyone from, absolutely, like I said, like, I'm a fan of everybody that's on this show right now, and I'm really excited to see a lot of people coming back together. I'm excited to see Hannah Fearman in this. I'm excited to see Felissa Rose. I'm excited to see LC and Anna Clary, and which obviously all of these people, both of you have worked with, and it feels like there is such a community that y'all have built in such a cool way that is focused around killing each other, which is incredible.
In the most gruesome way possible. When I first started doing this stuff was Time's Up forever ago, and it was during COVID. Like, it was so long ago, we had to wear masks on set, which was very uncomfortable. But since then, you know, like this whole group, I think I've been attached to probably 10 different titles with these guys. You know, just since COVID, it's crazy. It's blown up, but they're incredible. You talk about Chaney. Chaney's flying everywhere right now. He's the #1 movie in what, England? You're trending in
Yep.
England?
Yep.
I mean, come on.
Congratulations.
In all fairness,
Haunt
they're a
is-
little behind over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, congrats.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. But in all fairness, come on, they're a little behind.
Yeah,
Like I'm saying,
I saw the top 10 list, and I don't fucking know 7 of those movies.
Yeah, I heard.
they're
There's
still
7 of
catching
them
up.
I ain't heard of. So I'm like, what the hell are they watching over there? No wonder Haunt's at the top. Like, I don't fucking know any of these movies.
They're like
Chaney's
still
always so
catching.
humble.
I would say they're still catching up to American racism. So like they're
Hey.
still a little they're a little bit behind right now.
Oh my word! Oh my!
I think
Oh,
you're
yeah.
I think you're Sir Chaney Morrow over there.
Sir Chaney.
But John,
The Chaney of Morrow.
The third.
Chaney
I want to
of
be a
Morrow.
duke. I'll be a kick-ass duke.
Mhm. Fucking love it.
Oh man. So, something I'd really like to ask you guys is like there like I said, I've had some conversations with some people that are like a big part of this as well as some of you already. If you had to put a number on how many gallons of blood you think you're going to go through in this film, what would you say it would be?
50. Easy.
This ain't a Disney movie.
Man,
Hell yeah.
Per segment, or what are we talking?
Per 10 minutes, how many gallons?
this is like the how you measure your success.
Yeah.
Like
It's
by
in
the
volume.
gallons of the blood.
it will be. It
half
will
the
be.
budget.
Yeah, it
Definitely.
yeah, there's gonna be enough blood in there, that's for sure. But there's definitely you know, aside from that, just like some amazing effects, like you know, like Dan mentioned, it's really going to hinge on that to pull off. I mean, it's a pretty big demand on what we need done, but we're going to do
Yeah, it's very stressful.
it. Yeah.
So it feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong, this feels like we're a big fan of late checkout in this household.
Yep.
Big fan of that film. And like the effects that went into that were amazing. The kills were fucking great. The direction and the cinematography were fucking next level, which I believe Jaren is cinematographer on this as well, correct?
The freak.
Yeah.
Jared's the freak.
Yeah, which is super exciting. So this feels like it's going to be a lot more serious style horror. Like, is that a fair thing to assess with this?
Yeah.
It's definitely more. It's it's very. There's definitely not comedy, but it's serious and it's
There's no tongue in cheek like wink wink.
Yeah.
Anthology genre shit. This is very much each one of them are very, very serious.
Yeah, and some of them are downright, it's like an old man, but dirty. And like some of them are just really,
That's
really grotesque of the human condition. It's things that
Masters of horror.
you don't ever want to be like that. So it's very serious. Yeah.
Chaney, I'm surprised you can still wink after late checkout.
I was just talking about that the other night, man. Me and Derek, Derek Worley, Derek Worley, yeah.
We interviewed him yesterday, actually.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Man,
I was just we just did a thing the other night, man, and he decked me out in like a zombie makeup.
Nice.
And I kicked myself in the ass like the next day because I realized it's like I didn't get one picture with him. Like with him with his monster for like this little thing we were doing. But it was, I mean, the guy's incredible. 15, I mean, not even 15 minutes in the chair. And it was terrifying. Damn it, he's good. Sorry, I digress.
But that was before Derek started. Terrifying.
Yeah.
He is. Derek is absolutely amazing. I love him so much.
I just got off. Sorry, I just got off Triple Xmas with him. We shot that as a little Christmas horror with Felissa, and when they pitched me, I always like to die like in a cool way. Like let me die in a cool way. I don't want to come back for the sequel. I want to die in the most excruciating way possible. And he killed me with this Christmas elf that bit my dick off. I literally bit my dick. The dick is hanging on my wall. I still have it. It's literally hanging on the wall. Derek autographed it for me.
You've heard
but
of
the
Elf
stuff
on the
he
Shelf.
did with it, like we're in this. It's an Airbnb.
Did you say
did he autograph it or did he initial it?
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
The autograph
he's
is
not
wiener
taking
on the
up too much
wall.
wall space.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I got it. It's here somewhere. Let me see.
That's the whirly
Yeah,
dirly.
show me the dick.
Here. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's left of it.
You got Derek's dick on the wall.
Yeah, he's on the back of it. But what's so
Right.
cool, like just how extreme he takes that stuff. We're at this Airbnb, and I'm like, oh my god, thank God I didn't put the deposit down on this place. Like, it looked like there or something.
Because you can't get that house blood out.
Yeah.
No,
You
it's
can't get that
permanent.
shit out of anything.
That's what happened in Watchdog. Remember?
Yeah.
That was that was so funny.
Was that in the kitchen?
Remember that, Chaney?
Oh, yeah.
My God.
In retrospect, I can't believe we were worried about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we'll wipe it up. Maybe it comes up and down. Who gives a fuck? Like, we're out of here in a few days.
It's LC's deposit.
But
Who cares?
no, it was amazing. Like the blood, there was a blood sequence, and then it got places it was not supposed to get into textured walls and shit.
Oh,
It would come out. So I mean, Dan's on the phone and shit, ordering paint, like specific, like the paint. We got like somebody goes out and buys paint. They're in there painting the walls and shit. Like
Like,
it was
covering
incredible.
up a real murder scene.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
painting
like,
over
I was like,
the
yeah, this
blood
looks a hell of a lot.
splatter.
Like, this looks a lot worse than we think. Looks like we're literally like, oops, we got a body to hide.
Patrick Bateman's apartment.
I could see fucking Dan too, just like holding up the two like Home Depot paints next to each other.
yeah.
Hey, it was.
Or
I mean, in the
freaking out.
snap boot, he had paint and rollers ready. I don't even know how the fuck he got them so fast. It's incredible.
That's what makes you a great producer, Dan. In,
No
case,
doubt, yeah.
in case anyone ever doubted
Always
you, it is shit
prepared.
like that.
Thank you. Oh my God.
No
That may
joke.
have been Jake, Chaney. That may have been Jake. I'm trying to remember back. That night was a blur.
I'm sure you gave the order at least. You got
Oh,
it done.
Yeah.
You hit the phone like a Wall Street broker boy and got it taken care of.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
The life of a producer actor, as it were, right?
Yeah. It is very stressful. But let me tell you right now, when it's all said and done with our whole crew that we have and amazing actors, it's amazing when you see it all come together when it's all done, like the fruits of the labor. And there's so many things that are on backlog because of, I hate to say the C word, but because of COVID, there's a lot of stuff that's on backlog from 21, early 22 that just made it impossible. We had to do pickup shots or things like that. So between all of us, there's like 16 movies coming out. In the next year. It's so exciting, and that's why we do it, because we just want it to resonate.
Because 2023 already felt like a freight train. With like all of this shit coming out. Like when we were doing the award show, it felt like there was so much coverage that we had to do on so much
Yeah, that
stuff.
was genuinely hard.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. And like, there's plenty of stuff that I would love to get you back on to talk about, like Dark Circles and Watchdog and all that kind of stuff as it comes. But back to Deadly Endings here, like, which again, it's hard because again, like you guys are a part of so many different projects that are so awesome and there's so much shit coming out. It's like,
they could talk about it forever.
Yeah, it's just entertainment vomit, dude. Like there's so much shit that's going to be coming out. But I one of the things I did want to ask about for this is it feels like y'all are anticipating, now that we're out of the C word, like a pretty quick turnaround on this, correct?
Yes.
Like
Rich, you can amplify on that.
Yeah. I mean, like we're going, right from filming it right into the edit. So
Fuck yeah.
we have a game plan. Jaren and I are going to be handling those duties, and we just look to have everything organized so that everything goes, rather quickly. But yeah, quick turnaround is the name of the game.
Yeah, big time.
And that's important. And I don't mean like it in the sense that like, all right, we need to get this done in 3 months, 4 months. Boom. It's important because so often, like in the indie game, I've noticed like the past year, with or without the C word, some stuff will get done and it's never finished. They get it shot, but it's never completed, never goes anywhere. And if it does, it's years and years down the line and it's incomplete.
Yeah.
I feel like focus is lost.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I mean, we definitely
this
want to
feels
ride
like
the
a very
momentum right through to the
project,
end.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like when it wraps, we're not, all right, well, we're shooting the next one next week.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not like that because good stuff does take
Slam script on the table.
Good stuff does take time. A good film does take time to edit
Yeah.
and shit. But the focus mustn't be lost. That's what keeps it. That's what keeps it good. You know.
Yes.
Richard, would it
Too
be fair
often
to
stuff
say
is
that
forced out and it doesn't. It just
1000%.
doesn't land. You know, it's just there to
Yeah.
be there. And this film has all the potential to stand above a film that's just there in the category.
I'm too
You know,
soon.
wherever you're watching them.
Absolutely.
That's how
Yep, absolutely. And if I can add one other thing too that I just wanted to talk to you all about in regards to same scenario with like what we did Dark Circles, which is filmed entirely in 99% Connecticut, but Deadly Endings is going to be filmed completely in Connecticut, and a ton of the locations that I'm procuring or that people I spoke to all have a personal connection to me, and they kind of have a free reign, not free reign in a bad way, but like give a free reign to the property, the location that we're filming. So that's going to make this film stand out even that much more, because there's so many things like when you're renting a place, you're not building the set, that you're like, oh, what can we change? What can we do to make look like this? We have a lot of freedom to make these sets look the way we want to make it to look. And that's extremely exciting, a part of Deadly Endings. So it's going to stand out big time. It's going to really look incredible.
I love that. Richard, I was going to ask if that's kind of a testament to your style as a director here. Or is this more of a collaborative effort with everybody involved?
Well, the episode that I'm, it's obviously going to be me there, and I think like no matter how much I direct, it's always a collaborative effort, because sometimes the actors have an idea that works better than something that I wrote. I've seen that happen a couple of times, although I wouldn't like to continually admit that. But sometimes like you have an idea in your head and just it seems like a great great thing, and then but something else comes up that's better, and it's even though yours is great, there's something that's even if it's this much greater than you want to use it, you want it all for the best.
For sure.
But with my style, like I usually have a reason for everything that I do, and if anyone asks like, well, why are you doing that, and I'd be like, because psychologically this is so I kind of like get into it like that, and I kind of take it into that cerebral part, or subconscious, a lot, and I like to try to like push that, through in what I'm trying to convey. But Jaron will be also handling one of the episodes himself as a director, not just the cinematographer. So you guys are more excited for that than me. Like, yeah, like okay, like no, but
I'm excited that you got him to do it.
It really, one thing is like to step, like I like to step back. I believe that, like whatever my role is, it's just one component. It's like it literally takes everybody to do it. Everybody's part is equally is important. It's just we have different roles. That's how I look at it.
For sure.
And that's why I love Rich, because it really is a very collaborative effort, and it's like you got to be very communicative, and you have to really talk to each other like nonstop. And Rich is always there when we reach out to each other, always talking. And I hate to sound corny, but I don't know what production it was. They made that expression. And I hate to trivialize the word, going to battle or war or whatever. But in speaking in film terms, when you are doing these films, it's like you're going to battle with each other. You're like running in because
with each other.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. You have to wear so many hats. It's like it's the greatest joys, and then some days it's the greatest anxiety attack. But you have to work together, because when you're producing these films, if you're an actor, producer, line producer, coordinating producer, what have you, everybody's doing multiple jobs at once. Everyone's so many hats at once, and if you can't work well together, be collaborative, it's just not going to work. Mm-hmm. And we're lucky we have such a great team, and we've had such great teams that it continues.
And really like the team, that we have, assembled. It's everybody is excited for it. Everybody believes in the project, to the millionth degree. There's not anybody that I've encountered that's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything those 2 weeks. Why not? Like I'll just come out and act in it and, get paid and whatever, everybody is super excited and, to the highest level,
Yeah.
on this, and wants to see it just be an enormous success. And I think that since we have so many people that are of that mindset, there's no doubt that it's going to be.
For sure.
Richard, your cast just kept coming, man. Everybody you announce is like
Dude.
Hollywood. It's crazy.
We were scrolling on IMDb.
That's what
dude.
that's what
That's what we're doing.
Holy shit.
That's what
holy
Greg
shit.
was saying. Like, just fucking.
Dan did a
just-
wonderful job of grabbing some people.
Thank you, Rich. But
It's hard to tell Dan no.
No,
No,
but
you're
we're-
good.
but-
I mean, because when you pitch it, like the movies that you pitch to me, you're always so passionate about it. You could.
Dan could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves.
Fortunately for this, he didn't have
But
to
he
on
can
this
sell
one. But he
bubble
could.
gum at the Lockjaw Ward in Bellevue.
That is the most disgusting thing I've heard in my entire life.
but thank you though. But as far as the cast goes, like I said when I was reading it, I had people in mind, but we're just so lucky because we got such a great community of wonderful actors and people that I love really a lot. And so when we just want everyone to keep involved. Like you said, we're trying to build a big film family, and it's working successfully, and it looks beautiful. And that's the cast. It's like Chaney said, it's going to school, and it's like I love going to school and going to class and having a great time with all of our friends, and they happen to be exceptional, talents. So I love it.
It seems like it has a lot more to do with the love and the experience and the respect that y'all have for each other than it does the network of association itself. And that's very evident in everything we've seen all of y'all work on and be in.
Oh,
We have so much fun though too. Like just
Thank you so
on set,
much.
offset. It's so much. Always.
Yeah, we talk all the time, everybody, and that really because we appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
I'd love to see those group chats.
I would say.
No, you don't.
I send really fucked up, weird like memes and videos to Dan all the time.
I love it.
I remember when I did it the very first time, I was like, he's either gonna feel weird about me after this, or he's gonna hit the like button, and then we see eye to eye.
No,
And then you send them more.
As soon as he hit the like button, I'm like, it's on.
I know you
Yeah.
know. I know you know.
You sat there for like 5 minutes. You're like, fuck, he left me on red.
Yeah. I did the first time. I'm like, how's he gonna feel about this?
Chaney's holding a ketchup popsicle.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, Dan.
I love it.
So I have a question that's completely targeted at Richard.
Bring it.
Yeah, this is one where you can again totally tell me to go fuck myself. But
Can I say it before you give the question, or I'm just kidding.
I do.
Okay.
so
Preemptive strike. I like to be proactive.
I like to pre-fuck more than anything else. But no. So what I'd like to know is like
Back on subject.
Yeah. As a writer, I do want to preface this with like, this does not take away from the merit of creation of other characters that you have made for this script. But is there an actor that is playing a role specifically that when you were writing this script, you were like, this is my favorite character to write?
There's for this specific thing. Let me scan through my brain here and see.
Like, who's the person that we should be watching?
Think I knew like some of them were maybe a little bit out of reach or something, but on this one, I more or less had the character. The odd thing is like a lot of these, like I knew how I wanted the character to be portrayed, but I can't say that there was anything like, oh, Nicolas Cage would be great for this or anything. And usually I do. Usually I have something, and it may not be like their facial, like how they look, like their physical appearance.
I totally meant out of the cast that you have. I'm not talking about
the cast that I had. Yeah, well, the first one was Dan, because like I had the character in the one segment called One Last Shot.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Dan's so much better. And
I love Nick.
cheaper,
I'm not
so that was
shitting
it.
on Nick. I just don't
I love
care.
No, like, but I had Dan in mind, like for that, and then like when he read the script, oddly enough, that was the character that he gravitated towards, and he didn't want. I had him for pegged for that character, and then there was one other that was like the backup. Like, okay, if Dan doesn't take this guy, maybe he'll take the other guy. But he went for my number one. So like he signed off, right on that one. So that was great. So that was like the first one that I nailed it.
Thank you.
Mark that. Dan's the
No, thank
favorite.
you,
That
Dan.
was a trap.
Thank you.
No, I freaking loved it, and I let somebody else talk. But I want to tell you, I love, absolutely love. I was floored when I read it, and I was like, please.
John told me that Cillian Murphy couldn't do it because he was tied up. That's why he asked me.
Nicolas Cage wasn't available.
He said Cillian Murphy
Chaney's the one that tied him
tied
up
up
so he could get the role.
Peaky or Blinders, the sequel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
1 second.
Peaky or blind.
I think he's still
Peaky or-
recovering from all the like radiation from Oppenheimer.
It might be.
Could be.
I wonder if his Oscar is going to be like irradiated. They should put
It
like
glows in the dark.
a little red head on the Oscar for him. Assuming he wins, he better win. I mean, right? I mean,
I
Yeah, no,
I
agree.
feel like he should probably go ahead and take it. I feel like him and Downey Jr. will both probably get it.
It's all fucking rigged anyways.
But who
It's-
knows? Who knows? Bradley Cooper may have fondled enough nutsack to sweep it out.
My pick is Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Nah, she's winning the Super Bowl. Leave her alone with the Oscars.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna be so good for Bradley
She wins the
Cooper's
Super
career.
Bowl by 10. Okay. I got 2 large on it.
I almost
Swift
wore
by
my
7.
I almost wore my 49ers jersey for the second consecutive interview. But,
All I'm saying is Reservation Dogs didn't get any nominations at the Emmys other than sound. So as far as
It didn't.
no,
It didn't really.
no, the one girl from it got was it an Oscar or a Golden Globe, something like that at for Flower Moon.
Oh, Gladstone.
Yeah.
Really Gladstone?
Yeah. Which
You know what I think that is? You know what I think that is? We all know everything is that whole system is odd and weird. I think it's because Taika Waititi, he's
the producer.
executive producer,
Yeah,
somewhere,
yeah.
right? I think it's just because he was in hot water that they probably just said fuck his stuff. Probably, probably.
Yeah, but Sterling
Probably.
Hart's
It's not fair because I haven't seen the show, but I've only heard great things. I mean, between that and Atlanta, like those are probably the best reviewed shows that I've never actually watched.
yeah,
Like
totally.
those two, the two that I haven't got around to.
Both are
They're on my
incredible.
list.
I was gonna say
Both
can't
are
recommend
incredible.
them enough. Yeah.
Yeah, Atlanta's great. It brings me back to my roots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I felt that.
Being Glover.
Yeah. I was gonna say
As I say,
As the
you
manager
were
of
Oh,
were you a
that
rapper?
Atlanta.
I have no idea what that. Were you a rapper in Atlanta, or were you on Community? Which one?
Both.
This is clearly the ginger Joel McHale.
Yeah.
the mixtape is one of the Indiegogo perks, right?
Jeff Wingless.
Love it, guys.
Oh
So-
God.
So obviously there are so many reasons that people should be on the lookout for Deadly Endings. One of the things that we do want to talk about for a minute is your Indiegogo again is coming up March 1st, which is super exciting. Make sure you guys support this. There's about to be a shit ton of sick perks that we're going to talk about right now. So whoever wants to pick it up, let's start talking about some of these perks that people are going to have available.
Awesome.
For $5,000, I will personally kill you in your dreams.
There you go.
Love
It's going up tomorrow.
It's perfect with the Elm Street above you.
Mm.
Like it's
Yeah,
killing
it's like
it.
right over,
that.
dangling right
Drinking
over his
six
head.
pack of voodoo with Chaney.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
know,
we
the
got
thing-
we
the-
got a lot
the
of
thing-
props that'll be going out, signed stuff. One thing that I developed, with Dan that was just like an amazing idea is actually we're gonna throw on the Zoom meeting, turn the laptop around, and people can watch us film a scene or two You know,
Oh,
live.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
great
good
idea.
one.
Who else is doing that? Nobody, just our asses.
I
That's
just
right.
watched Chaney's
Yeah.
mind fucking explode.
Go copy that, Mahal Empire.
I
No,
haven't,
I'm just
dude.
kidding.
I never
Now,
even
now they're
going to
be after me.
That's an incredible perk. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
And
behind the
it's-
scenes live like viewer. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
and it's a long and it's a long one too. And they'll have to sign, some sort of NDA that they're not going to post a video or something like that. But
Yeah.
there'll be
We'll just make sure they
long-
can't record it.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
like-
there'll be long streaming perks and things like that in regards to what he said, and we thought it was Rich's idea, and I thought it was a really great one.
How much is it to watch Richard take a dump?
free. It's free. Been doing it forever.
1,500.
Yeah, nothing.
I would say, don't sell
Uh,
yourself short, baby.
1,500
You know,
pesos.
depends. Pay by the
Oh.
minute.
But
By
but
the
but, on a
inch.
but on a serious
Yeah,
note,
by
though,
the-
this
by the inch of the
Indiegogo
turd.
campaign really
Right.
is. On a serious note, this Indiegogo campaign really is. We always try to do really really film interactive campaigns where fans of horror films can kind of get involved on all different levels, whether that be helping produce the film, donate to the film, appearing in the film, working
Yeah,
with
we-
the
we even
film,
have one-
interning.
Where people can put their artwork in there. If they're like an artist, they
Yeah.
paint paintings or whatever, we'll put their art in there. There's just a multitude.
There's a spot where there's
Some,
music and
some that are
music in the film.
similar to ones you've seen before, but we've definitely innovated, quite a
Yes.
few on our own.
Absolutely.
Now, are y'all going to be, is this going to be one of those things where as you hit certain markers that you'll be showing more like, okay, here are new perks and that kind of stuff? Like, are we kind of sandbagging some of those right now?
Teabagging is the correct term.
You can pay for a teabagging.
You beat me by
Yeah,
1
yeah.
second. Yes, I was like,
You
that's
could definitely
uh,
pay for a tea bag.
I would
Can
call
you
this
sign
more
the
of a
tea
tea
bag?
bag.
Everybody.
This is a tease.
That's 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. baby.
It'll be like the Boston Tea Party on your face.
Okay, listen, you guys got to hear
throwing
this
loads
story.
overboard, my man.
Yeah.
What a tender bite.
Wait, Dan, you have a teabagging story?
Now, you guys got to hear this story. All right? This is a true story. I'm
Oh,
not gonna
God.
name names,
We
so
we just
listen, no.
guys, we just brought on a flashback.
We
All right,
did-
go ahead.
we did a crowdfunder a couple years ago for a film. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll
And
film
I-
you say.
And basically we had someone repeatedly reach out to us asking us to put up a perk to have this actor swirly somebody in their boxers. That's a true fucking story.
Holy shit.
Do you
Do
have
it?
their
Yes.
email? Can we get them? Can
The
we
email is
reach out to them?
Indiegogo. And I would tell this actor, and they're like, "Oh, they're kidding." And then finally, I screenshotted the stuff, and I was like, "Dude, they're literally asking you to do this." And he's like freaked out. So if you're watching this, comment below, make a joke of it, because that's a true story. That was nuts.
Hey,
Dude.
whatever helps us hit budget, dude. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
man.
I'll
saying.
take a dump on someone's back if it pushes over the limit.
And then box it up and sell it as a perk?
Oh Jesus!
Todd, porn really
I'll
is
sign
ruining
it, shit.
America.
Yeah, we're going with
Put
a
it on
lot
the
of
wall.
OnlyFans types of perks right now.
Chaney's
Well,
bathwater.
Dude, and I honestly bet that if you guys did this for your Indiegogo and you just did some weird shit like $20 and you can watch on Zoom Chaney Morrow eat peanut butter with his hands. Like I can guarantee you.
I sort of came on the podcast now because I thought I was going to see that now anyway. Like, why wait? We'll
Wait, no,
wait,
like-
Chaney. If you go grab that peanut butter, we're going to. We'll
All
wait
I've
here.
got is the crunchy kind, and the texture is
Oh,
Yeah.
off-putting.
Hey, but
You're
20
right,
bucks
you're
is
right.
20 bucks.
25, and we got a deal.
But like definitely guys,
He's
March-
got the truck full of nuts behind him there.
I sure do.
Yeah, yes, sir.
cigarettes and nuts, baby. That's a
That was
full
specific. I was like, I
meal.
got a copycat in here, don't I? Yeah, look at- She must have put a plant in here without me knowing. Cool. Right next to Pinhead. That's awesome.
Oh man. So guys, definitely make sure that we're keeping an eye out for all of these awesome perks coming out on March 1st. I'm sure there's going to be stuff to get killed in the movie, have your artwork in the movie, act with somebody in the film. And like the revolutionary idea of like, you get to watch a scene like play out, like you get to watch
that's
the
brilliant.
cut call.
Yeah, you heard it here first. We're the originators.
Oh shit.
There you go.
I'm gonna see
Usually,
if we can patent that or something, or intellectual property. No one else can do it. No one else, just us.
or you get
Yes,
like
no
a
one
five,
else can video board register. No
And
one
the
else.
teabagging thing, totally our idea. You heard it here first. As well.
I feel like you get a $5 stipend from everybody
Trailblazers.
else's Indiegogo.
Yeah, trailblazing. We're trailblazing tonight.
Well, we're getting towards the end of this episode, but I do want to go around the table real quick. But first, Eric, do you have any other questions that you want to ask?
No questions, man. I'm just stoked for this one. This is something that y'all are obviously very proud of and very excited for, and it's just a matter of time.
And I'm sure
Thanks
it's
for
different.
the added pressure.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
I'm good for
Yeah.
that.
If I don't like this, I'm coming to your doorstep, Richard.
Promise.
I will be
That's all right.
I will be the last thing you see while you're awake.
This one's gonna need to go 3 for 3 for me.
But no, I'm very excited for this. And like, I was talking to Dan a little bit about it, like when everything first started coming out, and it was definitely one of those things where like, and I've said this about plenty of films like Late Checkout and Watchdog and stuff like that, where it's like you have so much talent in front of and behind the camera that there is absolutely no way that this is not going to be awesome.
Strong agree.
Like there's no realm that makes me believe that this is not going to be an absolute banger. So I'm super excited to see everybody that's a part of this project.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you so
Thanks. Now Dan will renegotiate his terms after we log out. Thanks.
He's like sending you DMs while we're
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
chatting.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this trademark, bro. And
Exactly.
these ketchup popsicles. I think we're on to something now.
Maybe we'll put a little Easter egg of ketchup popsicle somewhere in the movie.
But we're gonna go around the table real
Sounds
quick.
like a weird snack Francis Bunn would eat, right?
We'll
Yeah, it does.
we'll put it in craft
Frozen
services.
popsicle.
it
Puts
feels
mustard on it because he's fucking weird.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
God.
it
He
feels
just
like
dropped the character's name, so you know.
I love that.
If you caught that.
It's
That's
a great name.
that's gonna be the
Francis
replay value
Bunn
on YouTube. People
with
are
two
like 10
N's.
seconds back, 10 seconds back,
2
10
N's.
seconds back.
The third. The third.
True.
But I'd love to know what everybody is most excited about for this project in general, like whether it be the writing, if you're most excited for the amount of blood, if you're most excited for your role, or whatever you personally are so excited to delve into for Deadly
Fried
Endings.
chicken night is Tuesday.
All right, well that was
on the
Richard's
set.
answer.
That's it. I
We're
just
getting the gang back together, man.
I think just watching it, like come together. I mean, I'm excited to be working with everybody, but there's a few scenes definitely with the special effects that it's like ingrained in my brain. Like I have to see it this certain way. I could just, and I know that it'll come off real strong, and be very memorable. Something that people will talk about. I really want to hit that mark on the effects and have something that is iconic about this, where it's talked about for the next 100 years. That's what I'm excited about mainly.
Absolutely. Chaney, what about yourself?
Well, hell, like I said earlier, I'm excited to excited to get there, and because it's all like fun and stuff until we snap on, and then we're all linked in, and I'm excited to tackle the psyche, like within the story. I can't wait to give that a shot. And Rich, I love the idea of collaborating and stuff, and it is, and just like Richard said, the ideas go back and forth, and we're all a piece. But ultimately, like I do know, like I'm not the director, so I mean, I don't die on actor choices.
Hmm.
You know, if I'm working with the writer director, you know what I mean?
And everybody wants what's best for the film. There's nobody,
you know what I mean? Ideas will flow, but Richard has the final say, and I'm, you know, that's the role, man. You know, the director's the boss, and I think we already get it, and so I'm just ready to go there and get it done, and hopefully we can, you know, it's not over too quickly to where we can't all have some fun.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, we will.
Absolutely. Kyle, what about yourself?
Let's go to me and then let's close it with Dan. I don't want to be the closer here.
Oh yeah, no, we're
Want to be the
We'll
setup
close it
man?
with Dan.
someone
Gonna be the
doesn't get the
setup man.
pattern.
We're closing it with Dan for sure, just in case. Just in case.
God damn that Tennessee geometry.
It's different on my phone. I don't know who to look at. But as much as I love acting, is more of the producing side. To be back with these guys is really and truly, it's like watching the Mona Lisa being painted in front of you. And where Richard's talking about being able to watch that live, you know, stream that stuff, like it's incredible. Because that's my favorite part. I've seen you guys act so many times in so many different scenes and so many different directions, but I get more excited about watching that, you know, and being a part of that than any other thing out there, you know. So I think that's really exciting. But really, like, it truly is. And talk about Dan, like with what you did with Watchdog, just watching you grow and grow and grow and grow. And Chaney with Malum, you know, like these guys are freaking superstars. And to be in the same room as these guys, to be on the same production as these guys, I mean, it's exciting.
Thanks, man.
I mean, that's amazing. Thank you very much.
I feel the same way, and I'm not even on it.
A lot of you guys don't know this, but Chaney's Wrong Turn, they actually based that out of my town that I live in.
No, they did not. Did they really?
No, the inbred rednecks that eat people, come on. But people think that. You know, it's so bad when you can make that joke and people are like, wait, is he joking?
Right.
Do they really eat people in his town?
What a wonderful town. Right.
In all fairness, you're like in the area of the map that if you threw a dart at it, it's all believable.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. We have woods. We have woods.
Trees.
We've got
I
inbreeding.
really
We've got
thought for a
woods.
second that was like, Jesus, I'm bad. Sorry.
Well, Dan, we'll finish it up with you, brother. What are you most excited about for this project?
Try to keep it. I'm really. I'm sorry. That really got me that last part. I'm really excited. Like everybody said, to get everybody back together. That's what I love about it all. But if I could be selfish for a minute, I'm really excited about this role. I really. It's a crazy great role, crazy different facets, and let me do things I've never done before. So that is what I'm most excited for. And it's going to be good to just, you know, produce, you know, on the side, and then come those 5-6 days during principal photography, just give my all to that, because I can't wait for this movie to come out and that role to be there. I'm very excited about it.
And
Richard, you wrote an incredible script, man. It's incredible.
Thank
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thanks.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, and I
Does
cannot
anyone
wait.
else want to second that? No, I'm just kidding.
If you would let me fucking read it.
Just get Kyle. The guy with the dick on his wall is the one praising me the best. But he's like Ed Gein or something. My dick might be on his wall after this.
See what
I
else
was
I've
gonna
got.
say.
Yeah.
He'll fashion it into the lampshade.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not the fucking lampshade urethra.
Skin lampshade.
That might be a good
Those
perk. I'll
sell
make
big
more.
overseas.
We're
I was
gonna
gonna
have
say.
security on set, right? Like
Yeah, you have to have those guards in front of the porta potties.
yeah.
All eyes on Kyle all the
I'm
time.
gonna wear like a steel chastity belt. Thing. My cock is safe.
No, you just gotta slick it to the side. It's already safe there.
You're right. You're right.
So I've been told.
I just comb over the pubic hair for hidden.
You heard it here first, folks. Make sure we're checking out Deadly Endings on March 1st for their Indiegogo campaign and help support these crazy bastards and their crazy movie that we're so fucking excited for.
Guys, give yourselves a hand.
Yeah.
before we-
Again, I'll put actual claps in later. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. This has been absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you for joining us where it creaks, it cracks, and we laugh at the creatures that go bump of the night. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.